Hello, welcome to my first game review. Let's hope this works. It probably won't, but I hope it does. That's right, I have a script now. I wrote this down. But anyways, onto the actual review. Rainbow Six Siege. So as a person who has streamed and uploaded multiple videos and with almost 300 hours in Siege, I have had enough time to think on these things. Let's start off with just a simple part of these games. Fun. Well, being an FPS loop, it's very repetitive, which is decreased by player interaction with in-game voice and text chat, but it's so hard to play over and over and over again without friends to play it with. Now that doesn't mean you can't have fun playing alone. In fact, that's how I play it most of the time. But still, it is, for me at least, boring to play over and over and over and over. But this is the fun category, so the pros are part of the defining factor here. So let's go over those. Honestly, it's very fun to feel that rush of adrenaline when you manage to get a kill or a really cool play, or even MVP if you're lucky. But it goes away so quick after it happens that you just kind of have to focus on those points of interest, because the rest of everything that's happening is not very entertaining. It's just you sitting there with your gun, waiting. That's it. Difficulty. Well, being a competitive team-based FPS, it's always going to be difficult, and with this game especially. Now, luckily, there are 3 different online main modes with all different levels of difficulty. Quick play, which means casual. There's also unranked, which is just ranked but without ranking, meaning it's more difficult because it's basically just training for the really competitive or good people, and it's training for ranked. And finally, ranked, which is harder because that's where the tryhards and the really good players come out. It's the mode where you are ranked on a leaderboard throughout the world. Now, I just realized I didn't actually do casual. Casual is definitely the easiest of all of them, because that's where you're just playing for fun. There's no ranking to it. You're not training for any. Well, you could be, but that's not what it's made for. It's just made to, kind of have a good time. Unranked, like I said, is just training for the harder difficulty. Well, I mean, that's at least what I see it as. And ranked is just the part where it's a lot harder, and you're ranked throughout a leaderboard. Now, this game is hard whatever mode you play, because it's kind of easy to learn, but it's so extremely hard to master that it's just, because the reason why is you have to predict the enemy player's movement and learn all the techniques, but not to be too predictable yourself, so it's actually really hard to get good at. It's just, this kind of barricade that prevents you from getting too much better. Feel. Well, Siege is kind of known around community and just the gaming community in general. It has really good gunplay and movement because it's just so smooth and the guns are so well recoiled, and I completely agree with all of those. Especially with some of the games I played. It's really good because it's not clunky, except when you use a character that's supposed to be clunky, like overweight or has a lot of gear. And the vaulting over objects and using the zip line to climb up buildings, it just all wraps it together in such a nice little bow, and just sends it to the players as an early Christmas gift, or whatever time you are, of good feeling gameplay. Community. Well, yikes, this is where we gotta throw. There's a lot of cons, but here we go. Just gonna throw them all off. Well, inside the game, it's really bad because players will kill you because of your operator, kill you because you're a different race, religion, sexuality, kill you for no reason, use slurs like a diabetic with a pack of Skittles, be a sore loser, a sore winner, make fun of disabilities, kill you or swear at you because you're not doing better or as good as them, kill you or swear at you because you are doing better than them, purposely make you a target for the enemies, and that's not nearly all of them. there are so many more that just ruin the experience. Honestly, this is such a bad issue for Siege. I mean, really, it's so bad in quick play, which, to reiterate, is casual. I mean, that's casual Siege, and it's such a bad issue. In unranked, it's even worse. But ranked is by so far the worst out of all of them. It puts any other game's toxicity to shame. It puts Rust to shame. It's so bad. The it's so bad people, including me, will not play the ranked game mode just because of how bad the community and toxicity is. It's such a bad issue, and there's not much Ubisoft can really do about it. Well, I mean, there probably is more they could do about it, but they're not doing it. Accessibility. Well, being a fast-paced, competitive FPS shooter, I would imagine it's really hard to make it accessible for blind or deaf people. But as of me writing this and recording this and uploading this, hopefully, it has options for color blindness and converting some visual things like text chat to like narration and voice chat. But that's really it. But that's also really all they can do. There's not much they can do to help those kind of like blind or deaf people. So sadly, I would have to say it would be really hard for like a disabled person to not only get good at, but even play at all. Um, because not only would they, it's hard for them because either they can't see it very well, or you can't hear footsteps or gunshots or melees or anything. And because of the toxicity in the community, people will purposely kill them and insult them because they have a disability. But, on a good note, I can say that there are Death Siege players, and I recommend you go watch them. It's actually really interesting. That's really good. But sadly, there aren't many blind Siege players, if there are any. I haven't seen any, and I spent a little while trying to research it. And I mean, I don't know how you could, but I mean, because usually blind players mean like in Siege community and this blind players mean like not very good players, or like players who don't play very well, or who miss something that's really obvious. So it just kind of sucks that there's not many ways a disabled person could play this game that well. I mean, if they can, good on them, but it just seems kind of an issue. Overall feelings. Now, I love Siege. It's my second most played game on Steam, and I love it. But there are so many things that can ruin the experience and the round and the game in general. But personally, I have made so many lovable memories from this game that will hold a place in my brain forever. Just out of the pure like joy and like bonding with friends. It's just like so nice to play together. But like overall, I give this game, Rainbow Six Siege, a 7 out of 10. That's it for me.